Cops in Moore, Oklahoma beat a man to death even though he did absolutely nothing wrong. Now, a family of 3 were walking out of a movie theater. Now, it was a husband, wife, and their 19-year-old daughter. The wife and the daughter got into some sort of argument, and the argument ended with the wife slapping her across her face. Then she felt very upset about it and started walking toward the car. As she was doing that, her husband, Luis Rodriguez, was following her to the car. Now, at that point, police arrived to the scene because they were already there for some unrelated incident, and they started asking him questions. The way that it ended is apparently they had asked him for ID. That's what the police is alleging. And Luis Rodriguez told them, hey, mind your own business. This is a family issue. It's a family matter. He refused to give them ID. And then they proceeded to beat him and spray his face with pepper spray. Now, we have a video that we're about to show you that's very, very difficult to watch. It is graphic, but it's the video that his wife was taking as the police were beating him up. And you can hear her screaming and asking if he's still alive. Take a quick look.
Luis, please. Luis, please.
Calm down, sir.
Luis, are you okay?
He's fine.
Is he bleeding?
I'm bleeding. All right, that's me. But I've got medical here. They're gonna come check him out, make sure he's okay.
Papa.
Here, I need you to get this. I'm not gonna go through your stuff. Get your ID out for me, okay? What I want you to do, I want you to move right here. I want you to have a seat right on this
Well,
pole, okay?
I'm recording
That's
because
fine. You can record from over here, okay?
Papa! Is he okay? He doesn't move!
They've got him. They're going to take care of him.
He doesn't move! You kill him! You kill him!
He's getting medical attention right now. I just need to stay over here.
You're killing my husband!
He was completely unarmed, no knife, no weapon, no gun. He stopped breathing when they put him onto the emergency truck, and they got him to the hospital. He was in stable condition momentarily, and then he stopped breathing again. He died as a result of this, and the daughter did talk to the press. She said 5 guys got on top of him, beating him ruthlessly on the head, just pow, 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 even with knees. When they flipped him over, you could see all the blood on his face. He was disfigured. You couldn't recognize him.
Man, they always go to like nuclear reaction. Not always, I know, but so many stories where, okay, there's 5 of you. The guy didn't give you ID. You don't even, like, you were called in because of a dispute between the mom and the daughter, but you immediately go to the guy. You don't know that he did anything wrong. In fact, the only information you have is that it doesn't involve him at all, right? If you have any information, it's not about him. But you've got, okay, well, because the biggest crime in America is, in their minds, disrespecting the police. Like, not that whatever you were called onto the scene for, not a crime that the guy committed, but you didn't listen to me for a second, or you said, hey, I'm in the middle of a family affair, this doesn't, how dare you, 5 of us, let's pummel you to death, which is literally what they did here.
I mean, and they're like, like, he didn't give ID, so what? Mm-hmm. Like, so what? Literally, so what? Like, you have all the time in the world. You can arrest him if you want, you know? At some point, you just say to him, put your arms behind your back, and you put cuffs on him, and you go through his wallet. I mean, like, you know, which is probably, that's even unnecessary, but everybody could go home after that event.
So
you know?
They did release a police report, and I read it, and the police are alleging that they did attempt to arrest him after he refused to show them ID, and that he, quote, took a fighting stance. And that was when the cops went after him. And I watched that video over and over again to kind of analyze it and pick up on little hints and clues. And if you notice, there's a point where he's just on the floor, he's not moving at all, and you hear one of the cops say, calm down, sir, because you can, he knows that the wife is taking footage of it, right? He's, calm down, he's not even moving. They're trying to make a point that no, this guy is dangerous. And then you also hear him say, another cop say, no, I'm the one bleeding.
Yeah, whereas you look at all the blood. Like, no, I'm bleeding. No, he's bleeding from the head and he's going to die.
You know, these cases of excessive force, in the rearview mirror, they just look so hideous, you know? And the thing is, the public pays and trains and entrusts these people to be professionals. They know more about the use of force than I do. But I do know that we all have a fight or flight mechanism. And when 5 dudes are on top of you with their knees, their arms, you can't breathe, you go into a fight or flight behavior, which is, I'm fucking dying here. I can't breathe, I'm on my back, they've got their knees on me, my head, it's like we've seen this over and over and over again. And it's not so much, it's not so much disrespecting them, it's trying to breathe. Is trying to survive some crazy thing that just happened to you. One moment you're walking out of a mall, next thing you know, 5 people, men, are leaning on your lungs while you're laying on the parking lot. And that to me is like, that, the poorly trained cop, that's the point. And that's why it's like, we want them to know better.
If you know it, how can they not know it? How does
that's exactly the point I thought after this story, because I have always assumed, obviously incredibly naively, that they got good training, and that whenever they did these excessive force stories we cover, that those guys were knuckleheads and they were whatever it might be. They didn't listen while they were getting trained, they were roid raging, I don't know what it is, right? But I'm now beginning to wonder what the hell training they get. Yeah. Because this is so systemic, and it happens again and again and again. And you would think that they would train people to say, hey, listen, when you got 5 guys on top of a guy, his natural reaction is gonna wanna get up, right? Because he can't breathe. So don't flip out and keep pounding him in the head, because some people, could take a lot of that. Some people die after you pound them in the head or cut off their lungs for a short period of time, right? So we don't want people dying on us, especially if we don't know what they did. So here's your proper training. And I'm now beginning to believe that we're not doing that effectively across the country.
In the aftermath of all of this, 3 of the cops have been placed they've been suspended with pay. There is an investigation, and the investigation was taken over by the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, so they're looking into it. However, the head of the police force there is basically sticking up for them and saying, hey, you know what, they were following protocol. So that's already bad news if he's trying to justify their behavior there.
Well, if I'm running that town and the head of police says they're following protocol, then I'm thinking about firing him, because apparently your protocol sucks. Yeah. Apparently your protocol is incredibly dangerous, and if I'm the mayor of that city or whatever it happens to be, I gotta protect my citizens. And I got, like Brian said, you're supposed to be the professionals protecting them, not harming them. And if your protocol is every time there's any kind of issue, 5 officers show up and pound the crap out of some guy until he dies, well, then it's not their fault, it's your fault for having that protocol.